How was it training with one of the best players ever, or the best player ever, Roger Federer, who invited you to Dubai to train with him privately for 2 weeks? Tell us about that unbelievable experience.
Well, this was 2009 in February. I got a phone call from IMG and saying that Roger is he's looking for practice, lefty player to train with him in Dubai. And I was really lucky to fly out there and have this training with him for 2 weeks. And I was really amazed about how hard he was training. And I thought I was pretty fast, and I thought I was pretty good with the feet movement and stuff. But he shocked me really well. Like he didn't waste any steps. I learned so much that I was practicing with him. Volleys, running forehand stuff. His fitness training, all kind of stuff. How taking care of bodies, and how well that he managed the time to train and all that. That it was unbelievable. Unforgettable 2 weeks that I had with him.
I'm sure. So a lot of kids and parents think that Roger is lackadaisical and he's very smooth and he's really incredible, his style of tennis. But I'm not sure if many people actually understand how hard he trains. So can you explain that to us? But as well as, you're known to be a guy that has trained unbelievably hard. In fact, Pierre had to tell you to tone it down quite a bit because he thought you were actually overtraining at times. So can you tell us actually how hard Roger was training when you trained with him for those 2 weeks in 2009?
Well, I mean, this is the stuff that he told me, and I asked the question, like, people say that you don't train at the tournament, like, you're only hitting for half an hour and that's about it. But but when I see you training here, you're training really hard. Why? And then I asked this question to him, and he said that, why you train so hard at the tournament? That you should be prepared, month or 2 months ago about working really hard for this tournament. Let's say that there's a tournament coming up in 2 months, or then you train before that tournament, 2 months before that, really hard for a month and a half, and get ready for that tournament. And you don't train like you train like here, at the tournament. So you try to take care of your body. And it shocked me because for me, I mean, I was overtraining pretty much. I had this thing with me that, if one thing is not working, that I have to make it. Let's say that I missed one ball out of like 50, I was freaking out. And Pierre was the one that tried to understand. He tried to he wanted me to understand this stuff, that don't freak out. You're ready. Just go out there, relax, take care of your body, and just play ball. But I was really nervous about not practicing every day. And once that Roger told me that, and I realized that I gotta lay back a little bit and train hard before the tournament. Get ready for a month and two, and then when there's a tournament week, just take care of your body. Think about the strategies, your tactics, and all kind of stuff. Yeah.
That's interesting, because what Roger told you was what Andy Roddick was telling me when I spent a lot of hours with him training here in South Florida. But what the viewers must understand is that when you're a futures or a challenger type player, your scheduling is much different than the best in the world. The best in the world can pick and choose what tournaments they'd like to play, and they're playing much fewer tournaments than guys that are trying to crack into maybe the top 100 or the top 50 or wherever your ranking shall be. So for a normal tour player, they're playing about probably 30 to 35 weeks a year. So it's really hard to keep your fitness when you're playing so many weeks on the road. For guys like Roger Federer or Andy Roddick, they pick and choose, and they have certain blocks to train throughout the year. So they might not be working quite as hard on the road, as if you were a lower ranked player. So it's very interesting because Andy Roddick told me the same exact thing, and Roger told you the same thing. So obviously they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.